Hey everybody, this would be Strib reporting in from the new acquisitions department of Strib's Arsenal. Back in the day, when I still had a lot of military surplus rifles, which is what I was into for the longest time, especially World War II vintage, I had a pistol caliber carbine, and it was a 40 caliber. It was a nice rifle. It was a oh shoot, what's the name of that company? The Yeet Cannon, that bunch. High Point, and it was a cheap little thing. I only paid $300 for it. And I had fun swapping out components on it. I eventually had a 4-power scope on the top of it, and I took all the crap off the front end of it and took the mount where the front sight was, reversed it, pushed it up against the body of the forend. It looked really cool, and the neat thing about the 40 was its accuracy. It was just incredibly accurate. I've got a target up on the wall right now that could demonstrate that. So, a friend of mine's old lady just fell in love with that rifle, and I ended up selling it to her. And she's still shooting the heck out of it. I'm going to get it back here one of these days soon so I can give it a good deep cleaning. They only need it about once a year. But I miss that old rifle, and it's complicated to take apart and stuff. So I look forward to getting that back for a little while anyway, and maybe making a video out of it. Well, I finally got around to replacing that particular carbine, and because there's been a whole bunch of new pistol caliber carbines that have come out just since SHOT Show. There were 2 new offerings from Smith & Wesson. One of them, the response was basically an AR-15. And the other was one with a folding stock. They were $800 and $700 MSRP respectively. So you knock off 100, and that's kind of what I was looking at. But I wanted to keep an open mind too, because there are a lot of them out there, all the way from little sub-gun kind of things to what I ended up getting, which is really cool. This has only been out since SHOT Show, so probably less than a month actually, but Kel-tec had the foresight to print up about 3,000 copies of this carbine prior to SHOT Show, so there would be plenty of them in stock once everybody figured out what this was, because it's really cool. It's one of the original pistol caliber carbines. The Sub, the Kel-tec Sub 2000, which is almost it's so small that if the barrel were shorter, it would be a sub gun. And it's a folder. It folds in half in the middle. Let me show you what I got, because this is the 3rd generation of these things. They've been out for a long time. It's cool. I put a couple things on it. I put a flashlight on it. It needs battery, and a Rhino red dot, green dot sight from Ozark Armament, and a couple of backup iron sights That's all I've done to it. But here's the cool thing, because this thing folds this way. Which used to preclude having a permanently mounted optic on the forend, because bang, it got in the way. Well, here's the Gen 3 innovation. Ta-da! It turns. It turns 90 degrees, clips in. There you got it. You don't have to take your optic off, or your flashlight, or anything in order to utilize the folding capacity of this firearm, which ain't that cool. Other than that, like the back end of it mostly, other than the latch, you know, is identical to the earlier versions of this gun. And there were other whoops, you gotta turn it to this generation as well, like an improved trigger. That's a nice wide aluminum trigger. The earlier iterations, guys complained that the plastic trigger was thin and actually had flex, and they've lightened the trigger as well. And what's out right now is the Glock Mag version of this thing. So it takes standard Glock magazines. This is the 115 rounder that comes with the gun. But so I'm not a Glock person. I don't own a Glock. I've never owned a Glock. So unlike a lot of people, I don't have 24 Glock magazines laying around in a drawer somewhere. So, but I was very pleasantly surprised when I bought this that Glock mags are really cheap. I was able to get a 17 rounder for like $11.99 and a 21 rounder for $14.99, and I know they make 30 rounders, 35 rounders, or whatever. I'm not so sure that I want one with that kind of capacity, because I mean, 15 rounds is a lot of rounds to a rifle, and plus, you know, there's an aesthetic aspect to it as well. I'll put the 21 in there just to show you. I don't know. But I'm an old AR guy, so I'm used to having magazines, you know, up here. But now, why did I buy this gun? Well, you know, the old adage about, you know, the pistol at your bedside is what you use to fight your way to your rifle when you're home defending. And that's kind of the setup that I have right now. Maybe 20-25 feet away between my bed and the AR that I have hanging on my wall in my office, which also has hanging off the wall, very close, a 20 round mag full of defensive rounds. And I mean, that's why I got into ARs, primarily, other than for the marksmanship aspect of it, was for the home defense piece of it. Well, I live in the city. Houses are close by. And with the proper defensive ammo, I think, through this pistol caliber carbine, like this Hornady stuff I got in the 21 round magazine right now. I think that's going to be just ideal because it's going to have real knockdown power. 9mm, we're not talking about long defensive distances, hallways worth at the most, and these shouldn't, they should be not barrier blind. In other words, if they hit a wall, instead of going through the wall, they should stop. So that's kind of what I'm hoping, and that's why I've gone with this. Now, this package is way less than 5 pounds. I mean, it's a pretty minimalist gun. The Honest Outlaw calls them the tubes of death. And I just think this is going to be ideal. I'll be able to keep this in the bedroom, folded or unfolded, whereas an AR-15, you know, hanging around in my bedroom somewhere, is going to look pretty like over the top. This is a civilian gun. This is going to work out just fine. And so I thought I'd show it to you. I haven't shot it yet, but I've shot my son's Gen 2, and man, it really, because it's straight blowback, they really beat your shoulder up. But I didn't really buy it as a range toy, although I probably will use it as a range toy. I bought this to defend my home with. So, la-di-dolly, do. And this is Strib, and this is Strib Sub 2000 Gen 3, which, let me show you one more time. Folds, and the front hand grip twists out of the way so you can mount optics and not have to take them off. Cool, huh? I'll let you know after I shoot this, because I got a couple hundred, God, listen, I got a couple more videos that I'm interested in making here relatively soon, so I'll let you know. I'll give you a little range report on this bad boy once I shoot it. I'm hoping they're not as bad as the old, the earlier versions as far as recoil is concerned, but I'll let you know. This is Strib. See you around.